Hello, everybody. I'm the head honcho BDIV, and welcome to BDIV and the Boys, the show where we talk about all kinds of stuff, mainly sports. We are mainly sports. Um, so please, I encourage you to share our page. Um, Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitch. We're really trying to grow as a group. Also another thing to note is please, if you are if you want to be involved with BDIV and the boys, whether you want to work tech because none of us know anything about it, whether you want to come on a show talk sports, you think you're an asset, please email me at bdivandtheboys@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram. Some things we're going to be talking about today: a lot of NBA talk, some coaches fired, um, some players are playing really well right now. And we're really going to dive into a very debatable topic, which I feel like is going to have a lot of backlash with the guys that got on today. If LeBron is really the GOAT if he wins another title in LA, that's just a big one. Some other things we got to talk about. Um, some older guys in the NFL playing one more round in the league, one more year. Is it time for them to go? Um, we're going to find out where we talk about Big Ben. Now that the Cam Hayward contract has been reconstructed, excuse me. We're talking about Frank Gore. We're going to Adam Vinatieri, who's a free agent. Again, we'll get into all those guys. Speaking of NFL, there's some guys trending on Twitter right now for some very weird and different reasons in the NFL. I am very dark. As you can see, I'm wearing my fedora. Shout out to the old man. Patty Mahomes, Cam Newton, and former brand star Johnny Manziel are all trending on Twitter right now. And final thing we're going to be talking about is excuse me, two more things. DaBaby and 6ix9ine, two rappers who are in headlines right now for very different reasons, very weird reasons. And we're also be talking local sports as well. So, but before we get into anything else, breaking news actually, Tiger Woods was involved in an accident. It was a single car accident. Nobody else was hurt but him. He's undergoing surgery. We also just found out about 5 minutes ago while I was setting everything up that this is non life threatening. So the golfing star should be okay down the road. Obviously, he is a big icon in the golf world. Whether he doesn't have the skills he had 5, 10 years ago, it doesn't matter. This guy is a very important man and basically set the wave for golf. Okay, so why don't we get started? We're going to start off with the NBA. The first thing we're going to be talking about is the Minnesota Timberwolves coach Ryan Sanders, don't know how to pronounce it, has been fired. The team started 7-24. Oh no. Yeah, that's right. 7-24 to start the season. Not very good. Let me actually fact check that. I think I screwed that up. I I was not wrong. They did start 7-24. To bring first person I'm gonna bring in, obviously, is my right hand man. You know, he comes on the stream a lot. Is Fraz. Fraz, what's up, bro?
What's going on, Bill? How you doing?
You know me. I'm just living life. So, Coach Sanders from the Minnesota Timberwolves has been fired. Was this a good move?
Yeah, Billy. I mean, start off the season as you said, record's awful. And last year, they didn't do much better. I think a little bit above 40 wins, something like that. Or no, not 40 wins, but had a lot more losses than wins, and I think it was by a margin of about 40 games. But I think it was a good move to bring Finch into the equation turned around, and maybe he can start a win streak for them.
Yeah, I agree. This is a team that actually has some decent talent. Really, just hey Mike, really just centered around Carl Anthony Towns. Who I'm after this, I really just feel like this team hopefully could start trending uphill. And Finch actually was he was like currently the assistant coach for the Raptors. Just stole him. Fraz, I agree with your opinion, but to get a second opinion, we're gonna. This is a guy that we he has to come on the show talk hoops. He's here. Brandon Diano from Hooping News and Updates YouTube channel. What's going
What's
on,
up?
Brandon?
What's up, bro?
So,
Thanks for having me.
oh, no time, anytime, no time. What the heck does that mean? So, Ryan Saunders, don't know who this guy is. Third season as the Timberwolves head coach, fired. What's your thought about this?
It's been needed. I thought they should have fired him after last season. I mean, the only reason he got the job in the first place is because the late great Flip Saunders, he was the coach there a long time in Minnesota. That was his dad, Ryan. So I just feel like Minnesota, man, they need a whole culture reset, and it starts with the owner. Since that owner's taken over, let's backtrack, all right? He disrespected Kevin Garnett, right? And Kevin Garnett don't like the Minnesota Timberwolves. So this owner is kind of driving down Minnesota. There were rumors a couple months ago that he was trying to sell the team, but he couldn't find any takers. So the Minnesota Timberwolves problems are deeper than coaching, but I think that Ryan Saunders had to go because listen, man, Minnesota, they're a bad team. They're defensively they are awful. But are they the worst team in the league? No, they shouldn't be the worst team in the league. They got Karl Anthony Towns, D'Lo, Malik Beasley is a very good player. Anthony Edwards, obviously the number 1 overall pick. So I don't think they should be the worst team in the league. And this Flinch guy from Toronto, he was Nick Nurse's right-hand man. So we're going to have to see because normally assistants from the Toronto Raptors normally pan out. So the Raptors are a great organization with great coaches. So we're going to have to see if they find another gem from Toronto, man. And I'm excited to watch Minnesota. They're a very exciting team to watch. Great offensively, absolutely embarrassing defensively, but they're a good team offensively at least. And can't wait to see how it pans out for them, man. But it starts with ownership, and he got to sell the team.
Yeah, I agree with.
Yeah.
See, Brandon, this is why you're here. I'm not gonna lie. I I don't know. I obviously know basketball. You know, me and Fraz used to hoop back in the day.
Mhm.
I don't really know what's going on in the NBA right now, but I do know this. You are 100% correct. From what I know, the Raptors have panned out, spit out an incredible amount of assistant coaches, and they end up doing pretty well as the coach. Yeah, I think that team, even though like you mentioned, I also don't think they're the worst team in the NBA.
Too much
That
talent.
yes, there's way
Yeah.
too much talent with Karl Anthony Townsend. If you saw it, you should have saw it. I mean, the dunk by Anthony Edwards the other day. Whoo, he put that man on a poster. Again, just a lot of talent, but they do have to pick up defense. Fraz, can this team, maybe not this year because they're already 7-24, is this a playoff team in the future?
Yeah, and I love how Brandon said it. He said it perfectly. Getting rookies to that potential of putting them up at Damian Lillard. Let's see, like Giannis. You know, what I mean, those guys. You need a good coach, and I think what Brandon said was perfect about the owner not doing good with the rookies. And Edwards has so much potential to grow for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they could definitely be a playoff team in the future. I really hope Finch can get this team going, but yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that again does have a lot of potential, does have a lot of growth to be made, though, especially on the defensive end. But a team that is starting to grow right now, moving on to our next topic, is the Washington Wizards. And Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal are on a tear right now, carrying their team to a 4-game win streak. I just want to read some stuff off to you. Russ is now 7 games straight with a triple double, or averaging a triple double, excuse me. Bradley Beal is an all star. He's not starting, I believe, but he is definitely an all star for this year's All Star team. So let me talk about their last W against the Trailblazers. Bradley Beal had 37 points. That's crazy alone. And then obviously Russell Westbrook did drop a triple double. He had 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 13 assists. Brandon, the question I have for you is this: how long can this team keep up this run that they're on?
Um, wow. Didn't they play the Lakers last night?
I might have missed the Lakers game.
Yeah,
This
they
was the
played the
game
Lake.
before.
They beat the Lakers last night.
Well, there you go. They're on a 5-game win streak now. So how long do you think this team can keep this up for?
I think they can keep it up. Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook are a great duo together. Beal was an amazing player, and people have always wondered why he's never requested a trade out of Washington. Bradley Beal is someone I respect because He's loyal. You know what I mean? He's a loyal dude, and I'm rooting for the Wizards, man, because I just they have a lot of talent too. But the problem with them is the coach. You know what I mean? Like Scott Brooks ain't a good head coach. Imagine if the Wizards had a good head coach. They wouldn't be 10-17. So I think they can turn it around for me. I think they can definitely make the playoffs. And they're a team that you do not want to play in the first round. You know what I mean? They can give any team a run for their money in the first round if they get there. Offensively, they're set. At the trade deadline, they have to get a big man. They don't have a good big. They have to get a good big man
Yeah.
at the deadline. And they need to keep their winning streak up, man. I saw a crazy stat today about the Wizards. They have an above 500 record against teams above 500, and they're 3-9 against teams that are below 500. So they're not winning the games that they're supposed to win. They're beating the games that like against good teams, but they're losing against all the crappy teams. So they need to fix that problem too. But to answer your question, yeah, the Wizards can keep it up if they get a big man at the deadline and if they can be more consistent and beat the teams that they're supposed to beat.
Yeah, Fraz, just real quick, elaborate. Do you think that this is a team, despite being 10-17 to start, they're 13th in the Eastern Conference? Is this a team that could potentially make the playoffs?
You know, Billy, for the past 5 years, 5, 6 years, I've been unfortunately able to watch this team, just lose
Boo.
all the time. And what you're saying about this team is that 10-17, it's a tough course to come back from. But I'm personally wanted to get on this subject of that. I see a little bit of a Westbrook Durant kind of partnership going here with Beal and Westbrook. It's I'm seeing it. I saw it the past 2 games. Just good assists from Westbrook, giving it to Beal. Beal's a great offensive player, and honestly, I think they have a higher chance of getting in the playoffs than the Knicks would. So yes, if you want my answer, yes, I think this team could be a playoff team.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The Knicks play hard.
Oh yeah, no, Brandon. I'm saying from the past 5 years when this team has been, 5-17, they haven't been able to come back and do anything. They've just been on that losing streak. But I think the
Facts.
Wizards have potential to make playoffs.
The Knicks got Tibbs in there now, Tom Thibodeau, and Tom Thibodeau has completely changed that culture there. So
Yeah.
Tom Thibodeau is the best thing that happened for you guys as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, just elaborating on the Knicks, I mean, holy crap, Randall has just been playing amazing. In my opinion, we talked about it before we hopped on. Randall is really just, in my opinion, and Fraz's opinion, Brandon agreed, the most underrated player in the NBA right now. He's not young. He's on the middle to older age guy. Has
27.
27. So he's not young. Like this isn't his second, third year in the league. But definitely a guy who I think can definitely turn around that Knicks organization. And we're gonna move on to the next topic now. This is one that I think is we're gonna have. Whew, this is gonna be a tough one. Woo wee! If LeBron James, who is known for being the guy right behind Michael Jordan, wins another title this year, is he the GOAT? Can we seriously make excuse me, what's the word? An argument that he's the best to ever play in the NBA. Before we really jump into that, I want to mention some different categories. So I kind of put this in like a series type of deal. Like, you'll understand once I start. So I break down a few things. I break down playoffs MVP, defense, All Star, league MVP, notable opponents, and career statistics. I'm just gonna just briefly go over them. Playoffs. You got to give that one to Jordan. LeBron is a 4 times champ, but he's 4-6 in the finals. Jordan's 6 times been to the finals. He's won all 6 of them. In those games, both players won all of their. They won Finals MVP, they won Finals MVP in all of their series wins. So Jordan's won 6, LeBron's won 4. So Jordan's now up 2-0 in that column. Defensively, LeBron is an six-time all-time defensive player or all-team defensive player. Jordan is a 9-time all-defensive player. and Jordan has a Defensive Player of the Year award to go along with that. He's now 3 up. As far as All-Star game goes, LeBron every year he's made the All-Star game. He has won. He has started, and also in all the 17 of those years, he has made All NBA team. Jordan, in his career, has 14 All Star appearances and has made the All NBA team 11 times. So now LeBron has Jordan has a 3-1 league. I gave that one to LeBron. League MVP. LeBron's won it 4 times. Jordan's won it 5. Another point for Jordan. Last thing I want to talk about career statistics, or excuse me, one more thing before we move on to the last part. Career statistics. I would give that one to Jordan. But last thing I want to talk about is notable opponents, players, either current Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers. LeBron has played Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Tim Duncan, James Harden, Dirk. Those are just some of the notable names. And Jordan hasn't played that many Hall of Famers. Magic Johnson, Karl Malone, and Clyde Drexler are the notable ones. So in this final series, I think LeBron actually had a better career stat line. So the series is 4-3 Jordan. So Brandon, I'll start with you. Sorry for talking so much. I didn't mean to ramble
You're
off all of
good.
those stats.
It's your show. You're good.
Yeah. Is there even like a debate now that LeBron is close?
No,
Why is
absolutely
that?
not. Because Michael Jordan's body of work is so great, man, and he sits in the finals, and you know what I mean. Like Michael Jordan never had to run on a super team to win his championships. You know what I mean, and I just feel like I just feel Michael Jordan did it the hard way. He played in a tougher era. You know what I mean, and I think all of them give MJ the advantage, and I thought MJ just straight up willed his team to 6 championships. Don't get me wrong, Scottie Pippen's a great player, but it's the little details that people forget about. If Michael Jordan didn't push Scottie Pippen as hard as he did in practice, what if Scottie Pippen turned into the player that he turned into? You know what I mean? And obviously Dennis Rodman played with Michael Jordan, great player. And I thought Michael Jordan faced a lot of great teams in the '90s. Portland Trailblazers with Clyde Drexler were tough. Obviously the Karl Malone John Stockton duo, one of the greatest duos of all time. Charles Barkley, who's one of the greatest players I have ever seen, but people don't talk about him in the GOAT debate because he's never won a title. But I just feel like MJ played great competition. Yeah, obviously LeBron played those Hall of Famers, but look at the guys LeBron played with. He played with D Wade, Chris Bosh, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, AD, Dwight Howard. I know Dwight Howard wasn't the same player, but Dwight Howard's going to be in the Hall of Fame. So is Rajon Rondo. So taking all that into consideration, man, I thought LeBron had more help than MJ in his career. And in the 2018-2019 season when the Lakers missed the playoffs, I thought that hurt his legacy.
I agree. I think that definitely did hurt his legacy. Um, Fraz, if LeBron wins an MVP, if LeBron wins a title, is it close?
Billy, there's only one GOAT. You can't have 2 of them. And I'm telling you right now, I had a good conversation with my TV production teacher, and that's Mr. Barat. Shout out if he's watching this. He again, like Brandon said, he played in a different era, and it was definitely more defense. I personally think back in the '90s, defense was the best it ever was. Really, less foul calls, stuff like that. Michael Jordan had to deal with a bunch of stuff. If you watch The Last Dance, uh, you know, I mean, they can make one like that for LeBron, but right now and for a little bit, it's going to be Michael Jordan is the GOAT.
I agree, but
No debate.
this brings up another topic. This brings up another question. Like, you know, MJ can't be the GOAT. He definitely is. He still is the best to ever do it. But do we agree that LeBron might be the best athlete to ever play in the NBA?
Can I start?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Brandon.
Wilt Chamberlain's the greatest athlete to ever play in the NBA.
What kind of tell everybody what kind of skill set did Wilt Chamberlain bring to the
Wilt
table?
Chamberlain played every sport. He played football, lacrosse, volleyball, track, you name it. Go look it up. Wilt Chamberlain played every single sport. And he's, to me, I don't think he's just the greatest NBA athlete all the time. I think he's the greatest athlete to ever play in sports. If you go look at all the crazy details, there was a story of Wilt Chamberlain at 50 years old. This is Wilt at 50 years old, played a pickup game with Magic Johnson and dominated Magic Johnson in a pickup game.
That's
And
that's
prime
crazy.
prime Magic Johnson. You think about that. This is when Magic Johnson was in his prime, and Wilt Chamberlain at 50 years old dominated him.
That's crazy. Now, that's actually a good topic. Now, I kind of want to bring up. You said that Wilt Chamberlain is the best athlete to ever play in any sports, and Fraz, do you agree with that?
Brandon, I haven't looked that far into Wilt Chamberlain, but I mean, if you're saying that, that definitely opens my eyes to thinking, yeah, he could be the most athletic athlete to ever live. Oh man, Billy, what do you? I mean, what do you think? I'm gonna think a little bit on that one, but what do you think? Who do you think is
Well, I
most
know I know my answer, but we actually have two more people. They're both like literally sleeping right now.
Yeah, we gotta get them.
Actually, we'll just bring in one to start. First person I want to bring in is Akil Washington. Akil, welcome. Oh, you're muted. Oh, see, he was sleeping. Oh my
I was
gosh.
not.
No, it sure looked like it. Akil, we were just on the topic of multi-sport. Not they don't have to play multiple sports, but who do you think is the best athlete to ever play professional sports? I know my answer, but I want to get. Excuse me, I want to get your answer first. But before you do that, I'm sorry, I just can't. Oh, right, pee break. All right, so we're back. Oh my gosh, this looks ridiculous. So we're back from our pee break, and I think we might have to take another one here shortly, but we'll just stick with this for now. So, Akil, have you thought of who your best athlete is of all time?
I'm not sure on who would be the best athlete. I just know, football wise, I just know those multi athletes and Deion Sanders, but like, I wouldn't consider those like one of the best athletes. Like, they definitely dominated in football. I'm not 100% sure on the baseball side, but that's my input on it. I'm just not that one.
I'm all over the place with this hat. I'm muting myself. I'm kicking Akil off. I'm just all over the place. I'm so sorry. I have to take another pee break. All right, that's better. Mike, are you ready yet or no? Okay, he's good. To get our opinion, then I'll give mine. I'm going to add Mike in here. Mike, when we're talking about the best athletes to ever play sports, who are we thinking?
Thinking Bo Jackson.
Why is that?
Well, he dominated whenever he played in the NFL. I mean, nobody could tackle him. And then right whenever he moved to play baseball, he did the exact same thing. I mean, nobody could stop him on either sport that he played professionally.
Yeah, I think he's up there. Akil mentioned his name very briefly. I'm going to go Deion Sanders. I think Deion Sanders is the best corner to ever play football. When you look at things from a different angle, for a different perspective, there's a rumor that Deion Sanders pulled up in a limo, walked onto his field, walked onto the combine field. Nobody was there. It was towards the end. With his bag, he walked in, ran a two. What was it? A 2.24, some crazy number. Ran right off and just got right back in his limo. If that story is true, that's something else. When he played baseball, he dominated. From what I understand, Deion Sanders was a crazy baseball player, and not only was he a lockdown corner in the NFL, Deion Sanders is behind Devin Hester, the greatest punt returner, special teams guy to ever play the game. People don't really think of Deion Sanders as that as that return guy. But I think that is his most underappreciated thing. He's one of the best return guys to ever do it. Can't remember the exact statistic on how many returns he has. I think it's a few, like 2 or 3 short of Devin Hester's record. But if you guys probably don't go back this far, Deion Sanders, with his first couple of years with the Cowboys, actually played wide receiver too. He was pretty darn good at it. I think he caught 20 passes in 1 year as a kick returner, a punt returner, a corner, and a wide receiver. So I think that's just something to talk about. But that story, we could definitely go into it another day. So we already have our first question. We already have a first question. I'm gonna just throw these questions in here. I didn't have a hockey topic, and I know a lot of you don't know a lot about hockey, but
Nope.
so this question is from Stephanie Fisher. Who is considered the GOAT in hockey? We have a lot of hockey questions. Mario Lemieux, Wayne Gretzky, or Sidney Crosby? Anybody want to start?
Yeah, I'll start.
Okay.
I mean,
Go ahead, Mike.
honestly, I think it's too early to put Crosby in there. I mean, he's still in the league. Gretzky and Lemieux are two really good, like, legends for hockey and in the Pittsburgh area.
I agree. Anybody else want to go before I give mine?
Yeah. Well, Sidney Crosby just completed his 1,000th game in the NHL, which is unbelievable. I believe Lemieux had 940 something, somewhere in that area. I'm not specific what the actual number is, but I gotta say I'm gonna agree with Mike. There's not one yet, but Crosby is working his way towards it, and he's very close in my opinion.
If you want my opinion, I'm gonna say Gretzky is the best to ever play hockey. Now hold on. Best skill, I think it goes to Lemieux. I think Lemieux is the best hockey player to ever play, but you gotta take a few things. You have to consider a few things here. Lemieux actually retired for 2 years, I believe, because I believe he had lung cancer or something like that, and then came back for another 2 years, played decent, did not play well. That might have hurt his that might have hurt his GOAT rating per se. Um, Also, I think you could definitely argue Crosby. Neither of these guys have either played 1,000 games. Crosby's the only one to do it. Obviously, the youngest player to ever win a Stanley Cup as a captain. So I'm still gonna go with Gretzky because Gretzky is the most skilled player in my opinion. Definitely was not much of a puck mover. Lemieux has more of a point taker factor. He could definitely move the puck a lot better, but boy, could Gretzky really rip one from anywhere. He was a dirty dangler. He could really do it all. I'm gonna give it to Gretzky. But we're gonna move on. I'm just actually going to keep all you guys on here. So we're gonna next talk about some older guys. Can they go one more round? Should they go one more round? Does it hurt or help? Can they go one more year? And the first player, why did I say player like that? I'm so weird. First player I want to talk about is Drew Brees. Drew Brees. We have to consider a few things. He was injured multiple times last season, ribs. You also have to look at their QB situation right now. You have Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston, both reliable quarterbacks, and in my opinion, somewhat proven. Jameis Winston was the only player in the NFL history to throw 30 touchdowns and 30 picks in one season, which is a little bit weird, but who cares? Um, if if Breeze were to be done right now, if he just said, you know what, I'm done, the team would have $22.6 million in dead cap space. But if he were to come back, restructure his contract, Breeze agreed. He said in a previous broadcast or a press conference like a while ago that he would actually take the league minimum for 1 year, which I believe is $1.06 million. So he's not even making 1.1 mil a year. That's unheard of. But still, is it worth it for Drew Brees to come back? Mikey, I'm going to start with you.
I mean, Drew Brees is an amazing quarterback. I mean, you can't say that he's not. He's been in the league for so long, and he's been putting up the numbers that he has been consistently. It's it's crazy. He showed that he has like heart to play the game too. There were multiple injuries that after the loss this year, uh, I forget who it was to. I'm pretty sure it was in the playoffs or something. But after that loss, his wife like let people know these injuries. I'm pretty sure it was like 9 or so broken ribs and a torn rotator cuff or something. This guy has heart, and I feel like he can play if his body lets him.
Brandon, should this be Drew Brees' last year in the NFL?
Yes, because I think he's a statue in the pocket, and I think in today's game, I think you need a mobile quarterback. And listen, he's a Hall of Famer. He won a Super Bowl. He has nothing else to prove, and I think it's time for Drew to step aside. Plus, he already has a deal to be a commentator for NBC, anyways. So go get that money in the announcer and the booth and stuff, and just step away. That's what I mean. That's what I
And
think you should do.
and I think as far as a money standpoint, Brandon, because you mentioned it, I don't think Drew Brees really cares about the money. He mentioned
No.
that he would literally take a little over $1 million just to play 1 year in the league. That's crazy. Now, as far as a veteran standpoint, I do think maybe it would be in his best interest to maybe wise up Taysom Hill for one more year because he'll probably be the starter. But I think the all time touchdown leader, his arm is not like it used to. When he got drafted by the Chargers, a lot of people don't know that he actually got drafted by the Chargers
Yeah,
to start.
he got
Um,
injured.
he did get hurt, but there was flashes of what was to be somewhat of a strong arm. It could really throw the ball, and one of the smartest quarterbacks to ever play the game. And now I just think it's not really worth it anymore. Somebody said that Big Ben needs to go, and that's
Facts.
actually who we were going to talk about next. So let's give a little rundown about Big Ben. He had a decent season last year. He threw a 33 to 10 touchdown to interception ratio. Um, if he does not take a cut, if he doesn't take a pay cut at all, the team we could lose a lot of money that we could use to restructure our team. Now we just restructured Cam Hayward's contract and made $7 million in cap space. Again, doesn't seem like a lot considering how much these players they sound like they're going to cost, but we could definitely make some more room and changes with that. Personally, I think the Steelers. I think a big move is coming up. The Art Rooney. I don't know which one it is. There's like 400 of them. They met with Big Ben today, and I apparently it went well. Ben has mentioned before that he'll also take a restructured contract, um, uh, and that cap space. I'll go back to that real quick. That money that we could use. I think at that point, if we restructure his contract, maybe get rid of Juju because he might cost too much. I think we could definitely invest in a 5-star player in Orlando Brown and, as crazy as this sounds, Deshaun Watson. Um,
Oh, I wish. I
so,
wish.
Akil, we'll start with you because you didn't get a say in the last one. Um, is it time for Big Ben to say goodbye to Steelers Nation?
I'm thinking so, Billy. Just he did have a decent season last season, but just seeing towards the end he wasn't playing like to his potential we've seen in like the regular season. So it's honestly up to what the Steelers want to do, but like it's just not a good option in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree. Fraz, I mean, I would ask you what you're doing right now.
Trying to plug in my
You know,
computer, Bill. Sorry. All
no,
right, we're
you're
good.
all good. Big Ben, Steelers legend, might go down as one of the best Steelers to ever play the game. Does Big Number 7 have another year in the Steelers Nation?
If we're looking for a playoff berth, I don't know. I really don't know because I just, what I saw this year, it really told me he wasn't able to, compete for a playoff spot and or not a playoff spot, but advancing in the playoffs to go to AFC Championship, and we didn't see that. But I really think, again with its torn UCL, there's there's still some probable risk cause that he has, and I don't think that I don't think Big Ben should go another season. Personally, me as a Steelers fan, but
Yeah, so I'm gonna go back to what Brandon said and made a point about Drew Brees. Early in Big Ben's career, even for his size, believe it or not, for those of you who don't remember, Big Ben could actually move a little bit. He wasn't the most, again, the term Brandon used, statued quarterback. He didn't really sit that much. He could move, but oh, Fraz just turned off his camera. That's what's going on here. We'll give him a second to recuperate. Um, oh, that's cool. Um, yeah, I got Pittsburgh back there, you know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I think that Big Ben really has lost a lot of his skill. His arm is shot here and there. We still see that he can definitely throw the ball. There's Fraz. Fraz, everything okay?
yep, we're good. We're
All
good.
right. I think Ben could still throw the ball well, but the game is evolving. We have Lamar Jacksons, we have Deshaun Watsons, we even have Josh Allen's moving like as if they were running backs. Teams depend on quarterbacks to run the ball very well. And I think that it is time for Big Ben to go. Before we move on to our next player, big Jaguars fan in the chat wants to know, what do we think that the Jaguars record will be next season and who should they sign next season?
Can I start?
Yeah, Brandon, what are your thoughts?
I think the Jaguars have a good amount of potential because I think Trevor Lawrence automatically put him in that division. I think he is the third best quarterback in that division. I think if Deshaun Watson stays, he's the best. I think, man, the Jaguars. They hired Urban Meyer. I don't know if I love that hire. You know what I mean? Because I'm not sold on Urban Meyer in the NFL. But Trevor Lawrence is a talent. I think Trevor Lawrence is good enough to get him about 6 to 7 wins. That's
Yeah,
that's how transcendent I think he is.
yeah, I mean, this dude is huge. I'm talking like he's 6'6". The
Yeah.
ability for being that tall, we haven't. I mean, there's been a lot of tall players in the NFL, obviously at quarterback, but we've never seen anything like this. What makes him so good is that height factor. He really could just see right through defenses. As far as the offseason goes, you know, they screwed this up with Tom Coughlin one time with what they had, in my opinion, a few years back was a Super Bowl team. You had Jalen Ramsey, you had Ngogwe. You had a lot of guys who really could make a difference. But the problem was that offense.
Blake
Fraz,
Bortles.
yeah, Blake Bortles. Oh boy, I'm sure a lot of Jaguars fans like this one are still not big fans of Blake Bortles. But Fraz, what do you think the Jaguars have to do this offseason?
You know, Billy, as we talked on the last stream, the Jaguars cap space is $77 million. They can do so much with this team. They can, build a good defense. I think if they, when they get Trevor Lawrence, I'm saying when because I mean I hope they take him, but when they get Trevor Lawrence, it's gonna, get some hope for Jaguars fans. Get some more money into the organization. And I think, they could do a lot with defense. I think they got to build up a defense, and that'll be good for them.
Yeah. Mike, what are we thinking about the Jaguars next year? Where do they make the playoffs?
I don't know if they do make the playoffs. Trevor Lawrence is going to come in and ball out. He's just that type of quarterback. I mean, he's the dude's a dog. Nobody could stop him in college. But
Yeah, but I guess oh, sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
But what I was going to say is they do have a lot of very good starting points to start rebuilding their team. They have Miles Jack on defense, he's an amazing linebacker. I mean, I don't know who else or anybody else that could be even a tiny bit better at linebacker, but he's really good. And then they have DJ Chark on offense, which he's a young receiver. He's pretty tall and he's pretty fast, and he has pretty decent hands. So that's another very good weapon for Trevor Lawrence to use.
Yeah, I agree, and we'll get into it on Saturday on our stream. Which, by the way, the stream is not going to be at 5 o'clock. We're hoping we get an idea. There's a few guys that haven't been on the show yet that we want to invite to the show, and we're trying to work out a time that works best for them. But that is going to be our mock draft night. These guys that are with me right now, they're all invited to come back. And we're going to be talking about, obviously, we know the draft really starts at pick 2. We're going to be talking about what do the Jets do with that pick? Could they potentially trade that pick? What Obviously some other factors kick in. What's going to happen during the week? Are we going to see finally a move for Deshaun Watson? Probably not. But yeah, so we're gonna keep moving on here. Another player I want to talk about, our third player before we get to our last player, is Frank Gore. So Frank Gore he's the same age as Larry Fitzgerald, but is technically the oldest skill position player in the league right now at 37 years old. He doesn't cost the team a lot of money, like barely any at all. I think it's like 2 or 3 million. But when he plays, he actually doesn't do that bad. Despite his unusual circumstances of age and the team going through a rebuild. If he sticks for another 2 or 3 years, this is what he wants to fulfill. He wants to play with his son. He's still kind of got a ways to go, and we don't even know if he's going to make the NFL. Apparently, he's pretty good. He is currently attending the University of Southern Mississippi. But when you're that old, Fraz, is it worth going through another 2 or 3 years of training camp, uh, all that other stuff? Is it worth it?
If he really wants to do it, I was gonna compare Drew Brees a little bit differently because has a collapsed lung, can't or he had a collapsed lung, couldn't really throw the ball that far. Again, like Brandon said, he's a statue in the pocket. Frank Gore doesn't have any of these problems. Don't get me wrong, running back's definitely a more physical position to be in, but I think I give the Frank Gore a green light to go ahead next season.
Akil, is the old fart bag still a decent player in the NFL? Does he make a difference for that Jet squad?
I don't know if you could say he makes a difference, but he's definitely in the equation. But I'm gonna go against what Fraz said. He's getting old and he's a running back and he's taking those hits, so it's definitely gonna take a toll after a while. So it's just his son's still in college. It's gonna be a while, so I don't know if those 3 years are gonna do him any good. It's just gonna do a toll.
Yeah, I agree. Skill positions, none of us have really experienced it, but that they really take a toll. Back when I played fullback, averaged 23 half yards a carry. The big stud I am. Um, I got when I felt my first tackle against me, which I never really did before. It hurt. It Sorry, I heard a motorcycle. Or a hog. I don't even know what that was. But as far as Frank Gore goes, see, I lost my train of thought. It's just stuff. It's just stuff that really just gets
You're
me
talking
going.
about getting hit.
Oh yeah, my big fullback days when I was named AP All Pro First Team fullback for fifth quarter. Yeah, so I think that definitely. I think it's time for Frank Gore to hang up the cleats. 37 years old is just unreal. I think he's going to be 38 coming up in a couple months. But let's keep moving on to our last player. Our last player is going to be Adam Vinatieri. Now, this is the oldest player in the NFL. A lot of people thought he retired, but he went on Pat McAfee's show the other day, and he said he was planning a comeback. What happened to my screen? There we go. Um, he is 48 years old. 48 years old. Now we're talking about Frank Gore. We're talking about
Damn.
Frank Gore being 37. This dude is 11 years older than Frank Gore. Now, obviously, kicking doesn't take much of a toll as a skill player does, but who should Brandon for a team? One, does a team really should they trust a 48-year-old Italian stallion kicking field goals? And two, is there a possibility that he could make his 600th career field goal? He's at 599 right now.
Well, I definitely think Vinatieri's one of the greatest kickers of all time. And I think if a team did sign him, I definitely do believe he can get one more field goal. So do I think he should come back? I mean, no. And then about that Frank Gore, I do. Let me make one point about that. I believe if Frank Gore wants to keep playing, I mean that's really up to him. You know what I mean? I don't think we could determine if he needs to play or not. That's in his heart, and I mean, if he wants to keep playing, so be it. But Vinatieri, man, I don't know. I think he's had one hell of a career. I think he's a Hall of Famer, and that's really up to him. But if he retired today and we mad at him and he came back and played, I mean, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want him on the Steelers because I like Boswell, but you know,
Yeah,
he's good.
definitely a player we wouldn't want on the Steelers. We're running out of
No.
time, so we're gonna keep moving along here. This is these are just a bunch of different things that are going on in the NFL right now. Patrick Mahomes, Cam Newton, and Johnny Manziel are all trending on Twitter right now. Let's start with Patty Mahomes. Patty Mahomes um, welcomed in his first child with his fiancee Brittany. The baby's name is Sterling, and obviously, I'm pretty sure Patty Mahomes is a little upset. This dude's a straight athlete. I would I would assume that he's not very happy. Patty Mahomes played baseball and basketball and football, and I'm sure he played soccer too. Probably not. That's just a joke. So that's one thing that happened. Congrats to Patty
Was it a
after a
girl
good
or a
run.
boy?
It is a girl. Again, I'm not sure he's too happy about that because I'm sure he really wanted the future of the NFL or baseball or whatever he wants him to be. I don't know. The next thing we're going to talk about, and this one has caused a lot of Twitter stir up right now, all over the place. Still trending like 3 days later. Cam Newton gets verbally attacked at his own 7-on-7 camp. Isn't that crazy? Before you guys give your opinions on it, I just want to show this clip because this kid just goes off on Cam Newton.
You asked. You're a free agent. You're a free agent. I'm rich. You're a free agent. You about to be poor. I'm rich. You about to be poor. I'm rich. You about to be poor. I'm rich. You're a free agent. I'm rich. You're a free agent. I'm rich. He's a free agent. Where's your daddy at? Let me talk to your dad. Let me talk to your dad. Where's your dad? You're a free agent. Where's your dad? You're a free agent. You're a free agent. You asked. Talk to me. Where's your dad? Where's your pop? You asked.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So Cam Newton.
That's
That's
in the mic if you couldn't see Billy's face there.
sorry. I tend to zone out a little bit. People. So I thought I'd pick a hat that definitely. Oh, sorry, I was peeing, obviously, but the hat that I thought were so much better than them is ESPN. Today to start, they said Tiger Woods was golfing with Dwayne Wade, and then 5 minutes later, oh, breaking news: Tiger Woods' legs are done in a car crash, something like that. So yeah, I mean that's weird, but we're
Mhm.
just so much better than them. So I'll start with you, Brandon. As far as this Cam Newton thing goes, how do we think did Cam react in the right way?
I mean, Cam reacted in a classy way as far as I'm concerned. Cam showed a lot of class by not going up to that kid and slapping him upside the head, as far as I'm concerned. Cam, you know what I mean? Like that takes a lot of nerve for that kid, especially his own camp. You know what I mean? That Cam didn't have to be there. Cam was there to help the kids out. And for a kid to disrespect Cam Newton like that, no matter what your opinion is of Cam Newton, you can think he's a terrible quarterback or he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. No matter what your opinion is of him, you cannot go to his camp and disrespect him like that when he's there trying to help you and he don't even have to be there. I would have, man.
Yeah, that again, like just the Cam Newton again, like Brandon said, no matter whether you think Cam Newton is still a good quarterback after his tenure in Carolina, that's beside the point. Now, from my understanding, the kid actually did issue an apology to Cam. Cam kind of just shrugged it off, no big deal. He's seen criticism like this before, but a ton. This hat is makes my eyebrows look really wide. A lot of NFL players gave their opinions on this. I don't have exact quotes, but some players, um, Darius Slay, Kyle Long, Eric Ebron, Cam Jordan, all players taking to Twitter. You can go look at that yourself. All players taking their opinions to Twitter. Last thing I want to talk about is Johnny Manziel. Money Manziel made a comeback. And probably like the most boring, and uneventful football league ever. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He made a comeback on a fan-controlled football league, and from my understanding, the show really is just him, or is just people calling plays, barking plays, whatever the heck goes on. I guess Richard Sherman's part of it. Who cares, right? So in his first game, you guys are gonna laugh at this. In his first game in the NFL or in this fan-controlled league, um, it's only to the 50-yard line. It's only the 50-yard line. Manziel threw 1 for 6. Sorry. Manziel threw 1 for 6 and had 10 yards. His one pass was only 10 yards. But he rushed for 60 and 2 touchdowns. But somehow he was the starting quarterback. They lost 48-44. I guess my question is, how the heck do you score 44 points when your quarterback throws for 10 yards and only has 2 rushing touchdowns? It's only 14 points.
Maybe
But
interceptions.
yeah, I have no idea. But Mikey, this is not a legitimate football league. But if Johnny Manziel literally shows that he has somewhat of an arm and throws 50-yard passes the whole time, is there any spot for him in the NFL?
Oh,
I
God.
mean, yeah, honestly. I mean, there's a bunch of quarterbacks that are still there. And teams do need quarterbacks. Look at the Jets. Look at the Jags. I mean, Gardner Minshew for the Jags isn't that good. I'm going to be honest. Jets, Sam Darnold, he's decent, but I don't think the Jets have the right culture of the coaches there.
Well,
So,
I think.
yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
he could probably go to any team and at least be a backup.
Yeah, I think you're forgetting that. What's his name's in the draft? Trevor Lawrence. So
Well, yeah.
Gardner Minshew is irrelevant to them. Matt. Speaking of relevancy, is there ever any relevancy for Johnny Manziel if he ever starts playing well in this fan-controlled league?
I don't know, Billy, but the game I saw was atrocious. I thought the league was just it wasn't real, and it seemed like he. When I was watching Johnny Manziel, he looked horrible, and they gave so much time in the pocket. I think there was only one guy rushing him, and receivers are downfield. He's getting like 30 yards. Whenever he's rushing or scrambling out of the pocket, I don't know. That wasn't a real test to see if that man can come back to the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a 50-yard field against a bunch of guys who have played probably 1 or 2 years in college. Well, 4 years and probably 5 years in college, and they were clearly not good enough for the NFL. Clearly not good even for the XFL or the CFL. So I think that's that. Moving on to our last topic because we don't have a ton of time. No, sorry. 2 more topics. Let's see if we can run through them real quick. Tonight, your Plum Mustangs take on the Shaler Titans in a basketball matchup. Shaler Titans are 7-3 on the year, and the Mustangs are 6-5. We thought this was an important matchup, but from my understanding, a little birdie told me that this game really doesn't matter because at 7:00 tonight, which is I believe before the tip-off for the boys basketball game, they're actually going to release the playoff brackets, which are due to start Saturday. Teams are going to start playing Saturday, and I believe Friday as well. Fraz, does this game really mean anything for the Mustangs?
Not so much, Billy. But it would be a great win for the Mustangs. They lost to Shaler last time. It wasn't really a great game. They could have done a lot better. But what the games we've seen in the past, week and a half, have been really good for the Mustangs. Especially Billy, who'd they play whenever we broadcasted them? I can't remember.
I believe wasn't Highlands. It was
Highlands.
it was Highlands.
Game. The Highlands game that showed a lot of potential for the Mustangs in the playoffs, and if they can win this game, this just even tops it on top. So, I think this would be a great game to win for the Mustangs.
Whoa,
Frazzy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there you go.
No, hold on. You know what?
There you go.
You're getting kicked out for that. Now, hold on. Just a second. He's pulling out the letters. I don't even know what that means. But we just talked about this. He goes, Billy, no swearing today. No swearing. And sure enough, Fraz comes on my broadcast and has the audacity to swear. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this kid. We'll give him a second chance here. So as far
What
as
swear word did I say?
you said the S word.
He was starting to say Shaler.
Shaler. I said Shaler, not
No.
He was starting to say
Okay,
Shaler.
chat. Did I say the S word or did I say Shaler?
Well, no. There's only 8 people watching. You
Well,
definitely
they're
swore.
gonna comment.
Well, they
Well,
can
no,
answer. They can
you're
answer
full
a
of
little bit.
crap. There, you said
I couldn't even
the S
tell.
word.
I couldn't tell.
You said it. I heard you. I wouldn't have kicked you out. I wouldn't have kicked you out. But going back to the whole basketball thing. By the way, you can go watch me and Mr. Frazetta here. We do all the home games for the boys. Besides tonight, we planned on doing it. Some stuff came up. You can watch us on YouTube, not live, but post commentary at PBSD Spacebar Athletics on YouTube, and really just see how the game runs and how the Mustangs play. So past 2 games we've done, they played Highlands and Armstrong against Highlands, a very good basketball team, might I add. The Mustangs, this, in my opinion, even though they lost, this was definitely the best game they've played all year. They shut down Connor Moss. Highland shut down Connor Moss, and the Plum was still able to hang in. They lost by what, 2 or 3 points, Fraz, something like that, in a tightly contested game where we thought the Mustangs actually were going to pull out with a W, but the second and third quarter was a little bit slow. Fourth quarter they played a lot better. Armstrong, it was just dominance down low from the beginning. Fraz, against this Titans basketball team, who is a player to watch tonight?
Really, honestly, Billy, I got 3 players in mind. I got Alex Matolo on the perimeter. He's been knocked down for the past few games. Max Matolsi on the rebounds has been unbelievable. Putting stuff up. You know what I mean? Getting a lot of foul calls, and Connor Moss for just unbelievable scorer, unbelievable defender. I think those are my 3.
Yeah, and we're going to be
Pretty
switching.
good.
I mentioned it already. We're going to be switching up our schedule to potentially get Alex Matolo and Max Matolsi on the show Saturday night, somewhere from that 5 to 8 window. We'll let you guys know. Follow me on Instagram, our page on Instagram, BDIV_ATB, to get news right away. So you definitely can tune into the stream. Last story I want to talk about real quick, very quickly, like 30 seconds. DaBaby and 6ix9ine, 2 rappers, they're in headlines. DaBaby allegedly called out JoJo Siwa on a stream. Did not happen. His nickname is JoJo, and he said CY, something like that. And he people took it in the wrong way. 6ix9ine is all over the place for basically slandering a dead person. He requested that King
Gross.
Von, who unfortunately has passed, he requested for him to come on his Instagram live. And I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit funny. I mean, it's a dead person. You got to respect it. But, I mean, he literally asks him to join his Instagram live. It's unreal. But I want to thank you guys for coming on the show today. Brandon, again, great job. Mikey, Vraz, Akil, great job, guys. But I'm going to wrap it up here. Again, thank you, everybody, for coming out to the stream. Just a quick rundown of what we talked today. And Kesher literally joining with a minute left to go in the stream. I'll throw my email up here, and if you have any more questions, want to join the broadcast, all that good stuff. Tiger Woods, about an hour ago, we found out that he was in an accident. He is doing well. He's okay. He just got done with a surgery, I believe. Some NBA talk. We had a lot of NBA talk. Timberwolves coach got fired. We're eager to see how Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal do. And we talked about, is LeBron the GOAT if he wins another title? We talked about some NFL stuff, older guys coming back for one more year, stuff along that topic. People trending on Twitter. We talk about Cam Newton, Johnny Manziel, and Patty Mahomes having a baby, stuff like that. And the Mustangs have a game tonight. Make sure you watch the broadcast. I'm not really sure where it's at, but thank you guys for coming out, and we'll see you later. Peace.